Did you know that behind the iconic swoosh logo and the inspiring tagline "Just Do It" lies a series of controversies surrounding one of the biggest sports brands in the world? That's right, we're talking about Nike. Before you buy your next pair of sneakers, hold on. You need to hear this. Nike, a brand synonymous with athletic excellence and iconic brand, has a dark side that many are unaware of. From questionable labor practices to controversial athlete endorsements and more, the truth behind the scenes will leave you astounded. In this video, we'll delve into the scandals and controversies that have marred Nike's reputation and explore how the company responded to these challenges. So buckle up and join us on this video as we peel back the layers and reveal the shocking truth behind one of the world's most recognizable brands. In 1964, a partnership was formed between Phil Knight and Bill Bowerman, giving birth to Blue Ribbon Sports. Initially, their mission was to distribute shoes for the Japanese shoemaker Onitsuka Tiger. Little did they know that this humble beginning would lay the foundation for a global sports brand that would change the industry forever. The turning point came in 1971 when the company underwent a transformation. It shed its old skin and emerged as Nike, a name that would become synonymous with athletic excellence and determination. Alongside this rebranding came the birth of the iconic swoosh logo and its famous tagline, "Just Do It." Nike's rise to prominence in the sports industry was driven by a relentless commitment to innovation. In fact, their products were so advanced and effective that some of them faced bans in elite sports competitions. But it wasn't just about the products. Nike's marketing prowess played a vital role in its success. From basketball legend Michael Jordan to soccer superstar Cristiano Ronaldo, Nike forged partnerships with the biggest names in sports, relating their product to aspiration, determination, and excellence. Nike has become more than just a brand. It has become a symbol, capturing people's heart as well as their feet. However, as Nike's success grew, reports emerged about the harsh working conditions in the factories where Nike products were made. These reports caught the attention of consumers and activists, who raised concerns about Nike's treatment of workers and their commitment to ethical practices. The controversy grew as more people became aware of the working conditions and started boycotting Nike products. The public's response was so strong that even Phil Knight, the CEO of Nike, acknowledged the negative reputation associated with the brand. He admitted that the Nike product has become synonymous with slave wages, forced overtime, and arbitrary abuse. So how did all of this begin? But hold on. Before we go further, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments section below, and make sure to subscribe to our channel for more content. Alright, let's continue. In the web of global supply chains, Nike, like many multinational companies, turned to outsource production to developing countries in order to reduce costs. However, this practice gave rise to sweatshops, where workers in underdeveloped countries endured grueling hours, abysmal working conditions, and extremely low wages. Nike's journey with sweatshops began in Japan before shifting to countries with cheaper labor, such as South Korea, China, and Taiwan. As these economies developed, Nike sought even lower-cost suppliers in China, Indonesia, and Vietnam. While Nike's use of sweatshops dates back to the 1970s, it wasn't until 1991 that the issue gained widespread public attention. During the year, there are reports by Jeff Ballinger that exposed the appalling conditions faced by garment workers in Nike's Indonesian factories. Moreover, workers received meager wages of only 14 cents per hour, barely enough to meet their basic needs. The revelation sparked public outrage, leading to protests during the 1992 Barcelona Olympics. Adding to the controversy, Nike also became embroiled in a child labor scandal. A 1996 Life magazine article featured a photograph of Tariq, a young boy from Pakistan, who allegedly sewed Nike footballs for a mere 60 cents a day. Initially, Nike denied any association with these labor practices, claiming limited control over contracted factories. However, the protests and backlash from various organizations prompted the company to establish a department to improve factory conditions. Despite these efforts, disputes continued, and Nike was forced to lay off many workers in 1997 to 1998 due to public pressure. I'd like to inform you that if you want to stay updated with captivating stories and insightful content, be sure to follow our Instagram channel. You can find us by searching for the name Foo Styles. Nike has also faced its fair share of controversies related to its endorsement deals, supporting athletes with questionable reputations. One prominent example is Nike's endorsement of cyclist Lance Armstrong. Despite being a celebrated figure in the world of cycling, Armstrong was later embroiled in a doping scandal that tarnished his career. During the peak of the controversy, Nike stood by Armstrong, continuing to support him as one of their top athletes. However, as evidence mounted against him, including his confession to using performance-enhancing drugs, Nike eventually severed ties with Armstrong, distancing themselves from the disgraced athlete. Another controversial endorsement involved South African sprinter Oscar Pistorius. Pistorius, known as the Blade Runner, made history as the first double amputee to compete in the Olympics. However, his career took a devastating turn when he was convicted of murdering his girlfriend in 2013. Despite the conviction, Nike initially maintained its endorsement deal with Pistorius. It was only after public outcry and pressure that Nike decided to terminate their association with him. To be fair, Nike has made significant efforts to address controversies surrounding it. For example, in 1999, the company played a leading role in creating the Fair Labor Association, or FLA, a non-profit group that aimed to establish independent monitoring and a code of conduct for labor practices. This included guidelines on minimum age and a 60-hour work week. Nike also encouraged other brands to join the FLA so everyone could make positive changes together. From 2002 to 2004, Nike checked around 600 factories to see if they were following the rules. They visited factories multiple times to make sure they fixed any problems. While some serious issues like locked doors and unsafe chemicals were addressed, there were still challenges to overcome. In 2005, Nike did something groundbreaking. They became the first company in their industry to share a complete list of their factories. This was a big step toward transparency and making sure workers were treated fairly. They also published a detailed report about conditions and wages in their factories, admitting that there were problems, especially in their factories in South Asia. Nike has also been working to protect the environment. They started a program called Nike Grind in 1993, where they recycle old shoes to make sports surfaces like basketball courts and playgrounds. They want to reduce waste and reuse materials. To lower their carbon footprint, Nike set goals to reduce emissions by 65% by 2030, which means less pollution. They use sustainable materials like recycled polyester and organic cotton, and they've switched to water-based adhesives in their production process. Additionally, in 2019, Nike launched the Move to Zero program to achieve zero waste and zero carbon emissions in everything they do. They are committed to being more environmentally friendly and responsible. We have reached the end of the video, where we explored the controversies surrounding Nike, including its horrific labor conditions and endorsement controversies. Now, here's the thing. Given these controversies, will you hesitate before purchasing your next pair of Nike shoes, or will you continue to support the brand without reservation? Share your thoughts in the comment section below, and stay tuned for our next video.